Hey, what's up everybody, this is Muth24, and today I'll be taking a look at the second DVD volume of Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. This is a review that I actually thought I did earlier. I think I filmed part of it, but just never got the whole thing done because my camera battery died or something like that. But I did the first volume a long while back, and you can check through my videos if you want to find that, or maybe I'll put a link in the description, make it easier. But anyways, for the original release of Unicorn Gundam, they were just going to do Blu-rays, and they did simultaneous release in the US and Japan, as I'm sure many of you know, because it's still one of the more recent Gundam series out there. But they didn't do DVD releases, stateside at least, right off the bat. And so what they did is they kind of backtracked. I think it was around the time Episode 3 was coming out on Blu-ray that they backtracked and were like, okay, you know, not everyone owns a Blu-ray player, not everyone's in the business of getting Blu-rays right now, because at the time they were still a little expensive. They've come down now, but, you know, still getting like $40, $35 for a single episode. Not exactly the most easy for people to do, just, you know, churn out that much money for a single episode, even though they are basically mini movies. So Bandai went ahead and did this re-release on the DVD format where you'd get 2 episodes for each DVD volume. So you'd have the same artwork and stuff, just on reversible covers, and you'd have 2 episodes on one disc. So as I showed in the first disc, the volume covers are that of like Banagher and the Unicorn on the front, and then also of the Sinanju on the second volume. So for this one, for volume 3's cover, we have Merida Cruz, Banagher, and the Kshatriya, and then on the back we have a big picture of the Kshatriya and a description of all the special features and all that, which I'll get to in a minute. And then on the side we have the Kshatriya and its mono eye kind of staring down, and then the Gundam UC volume 2 text there. And then if we pop it open and pull the sleeve out, the reverse side is the volume 4 cover with Audrey, the Delta Plus, and Ensign Riddy over Earth, and then the Delta Plus is on the back there with his beam saber drawn, and then again the same list of all the stuff that's in the DVD. Actually, you know what? The extras list is only on the volume 3 cover, whereas the volume 4 cover is actually the cast of episodes 3 and 4, which is kind of cool. I don't know if they did that on volume 1 and 2. I don't have them right here with me at the moment. But let me slide the cover back in here a second, and I'll go over the special features that you get with this second volume. Also, the disc art, you have the Unicorn in Unicorn mode, whereas the first disc it was in Destroy mode. So I'm kind of wondering if for the volume 3 DVD release, assuming we get one that's still in keeping with this now that Bandai is kind of in its flux of not knowing what to do with North American releases, assuming we did an volume 3 release of the last 3 episodes, I'm wondering if it won't be Unicorn Destroy mode, or if it'll be something like the Banshee or the Sinanju or something. One thing you may have noticed here, I don't know how well you can see it on the camera, right at the top there's a little bit of a smudge-looking bit. I don't believe that's standard for the artwork. I think it was either there was something when they shipped my particular volume here, or I got a bad print, like the printer was running out of ink at the very end there. I don't think that smudge is typical of this release, though. So the DVD extras that you get are an Episode 3 recap and Episode 4 recap, the textless ending for Episode 3, and then Episode 2 promotional videos, both long version and a short version. There's a second one as well. Then you have trailers for Episodes 2 and 3, mobile suit and character highlights for Sinanju and Full Frontal, which are just kind of like a little, I don't know, music video bit, I guess you could say. It's like there's no dialogue there, but they have some, I think there's some text in there and they just play some music over it. Character highlights of Mackle and Riddy, and then obviously the reversible wrap cover, which I just showed you. You do have both English and Japanese audio with English subtitles, Spanish subtitles, and then obviously the menus. So Episode 3 is called The Ghost of Laplace, and it's one of my favorite episodes of the series. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Unicorn as a whole in the first place, but Episode 3 is really cool. We get to see more of the Neo Zeon forces and how Banagher interacts with them. We get to see a lot of things going on behind the scenes, a lot of the smaller bits that make up the bigger picture. And it's one thing that I really appreciated with two other OVAs that are among my favorites in the Gundam universe, 8th MS and Stardust Memory, is that we get to see the little bits that make up the bigger picture. And it really helps the story, not just here in Unicorn, but as a whole in the Universal Century. It really makes you appreciate the characters, where they're coming from, and all that. So we get to see more of Merida, of Benager, and as I said, the Neo-Zeon Sleeve forces as a whole. Then the 4th episode is called At the Bottom of the Gravity Well, and in this episode we are going back to Earth, and again, we get to see more of the Neo-Zeon forces. We get to see how they're kind of like scavenging for anything they can use to fight against the Federation forces. And you'll see that there's a lot of mobile suits they use here that are kind of from all over the place. Like, you have this giant mobile armor that, I forget the name of it, but it kind of resembles the Nightingale. Then there's an old Zaku 1 sniper that's hanging out on, it's not a gun parry, but it's one of those, like, mobile platform type things. Then you've also got some redesigns of really old Gundam mobile suits that were, I don't remember if they were like designs for the original Mobile Suit Gundam they never used, or if they were just like in spin-off stuff. But anyways, like some of the crazier, weird Mobile Suit designs that didn't actually make it into the series, those show up and are redesigned and actually look really cool in this. The only problem I have with episode 4 is it gets really preachy. And Gundam has some episodes in its various series where you do get this preachiness of, oh, we shouldn't be fighting, or why are we fighting, or yada yada. You have some of that here, and I thought it kind of dragged down. Episode 4 for me is probably the weakest episode of the bunch. It's not bad, flat out, but it's just, compared to the rest, it's not nearly as consistently good. That said, I did think the later episodes, which I won't do a full review of here, do get a good job, do a good job of getting back on track, and so it's just kind of like this one momentary drop in the quality. But as far as the rest of the episode goes, it's still pretty darn good. The production value in these just still blows me away. That, you know, the first episode and the second episode are like mini movies, and everything from there is sort of in that same vein. But the production value just keeps getting better and better with each episode. So I'm really impressed with that. But like I said, Bandai's kind of in this weird flux, so tracking this thing down now, a little bit of a challenge. But if you can find it, I highly recommend it. Obviously, if you have a Blu-ray player, if you have one of those, you might want to consider getting the Blu-ray version. But if you don't have a Blu-ray player like me, if you haven't upgraded to that, this is not a bad alternative. You get, 2 episodes for cheaper than what you'd have to buy the Blu-ray versions for, generally speaking. So basically what you get here is you're paying 2 for the price of 1, sort of a thing. It's comparable to, well, at least before the Bandai Flux happened, it was comparable to a single Blu-ray volume, maybe a little bit cheaper. I don't remember exactly what I paid for this, but anyways, you get the reversible cover, you get both episodes, you get all the extra special features. I'm twisting my tongue up there as I'm talking, but anyways, I highly recommend Unicorn as a series. It's honestly one of my favorite Gundam series I've seen in ages. 8th MS is still my very favorite because it's just awesome. It's one of the first Gundam series that I really watched and came to appreciate, and I still love it to this day. But this one is proving to be very close contender, and I would not be surprised if this ends up being my second favorite Gundam series of all time. Like I said, I've seen episodes 5 and 6, but we haven't seen episode 7 yet, so I can't say for sure, but I have high hopes for it. So that's pretty much it for this review, and my gushing about Unicorn as a whole, and with that, I will see you guys next time.